Okay, we're going to add some routes into our application, but if we take a look at what we've got at the moment, we don't really have a lot to route to. We've only really got our activity dashboard, and we've got our form, which we can create as a separate route as well. But we don't have a huge amount to route to. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new component, and what we'll do inside our features folder, we'll create a new folder, and we'll call it home. And inside the home folder, we'll create a new file, and we'll just call it homepage.tsx. And inside here, we'll just create a new component, and we'll say import React from React, and we'll say export defaults function, and we'll say homepage, and we're going to return. And all we'll add in here is just a small amount of JSX. We'll add a container that we get from Semantic UI React, and we'll give it a h1 tag and just call it homepage. That's all we'll have for the time being. But the container will give some style, and we'll set the margin top to be 7 EM. And then what we'll do is we'll head over to our app components. Let's open up the app.tsx. Now the idea of this is that we create routes, and inside the route component that we add gets replaced with the component that we select when we navigate to that particular component. So what we'll do is we'll remove the activity dashboard, and we're going to replace this with routes, and we get these from React Router DOM. So in the first route, what we'll do is we'll specify a path, and we're going to set this equal to just a /. This is going to be for our home component. So we'll give it a component as a property or attribute, and we're going to select the home page as the component that we're going to route to, and make sure that we get our home page brought in, as we can see here. So what we'll do is I'm just going to copy this line down 2 more times, and we're also going to have a route for activities, and we're going to have a route for create activity. And the second one is going to be for our activity dashboard. And for the create activity, we're going to open the activity form component. So the idea is that when we hit this route, then inside this container, it's going to be our home page. When we hit this route inside this container, we're going to see our activity dashboard. And anything outside of the routes where we've got our container and navbar, well, the navbar is always going to be displayed. So let's go and see how we're doing with this. And if we go back and take a look, and first of all, let's just go to that home page and press return. And we can see our home page listed here. We don't have any additional information in our URL. How about if we go to the activities route? Well, we see our activities in our activity dashboard, but what we also see at the same time is the home page. And if we go back to our code, that's because React Router is going to return any components that match the route. Now, as far as React Router is concerned, we match the home page because we have a / in our route. We match the activities because we've got / activities, but for the home page, we only want this one to load when we don't have any additional information other than the /. So what we can do is specify exact in the route here, and then if we go take a look and we refresh this, then we can see that the home page information has gone. But if I take out the activities and just go back home again, now we're just back to the home page. And just to repeat the behavior, we'll say / activities, and we see the activities, but no home page. That's what we're looking for. And just to make sure we can go and hit our create activity route as well, we'll see our form inside here. However, notice what we are doing is that we are loading our activities when we are on our home page, and we're not actually displaying our activities at this point. We only display our activities when we go to the activities dashboard. So having the logic in our app component to do this doesn't make a lot of sense. So what we'll do is we'll go back to our app.tsx, and the functionality that we have in here, what we'll actually do is cut this all out and put it inside our activity dashboard. So I'm just going to cut this into my clipboard, and in our app component, if we just tidy this up a little bit, we've got some stuff that we can then remove from inside here. So let's remove all of the unused imports, and we'll go to our activity dashboard and we'll paste in the contents of the clipboard inside here. Now we don't need to add our activity store again, we already have this in place. And the use effect, we'll just remove a character and add it back in so we can get the automatic import there. And we'll just do the same for the loading component as well. And if we take a look at this, this all looks pretty good. And if we go back to our app, what we should find now, if we refresh our page on the home page, it loads instantly because we're not getting our activities. And if we go to our activities, now we load and go and retrieve the activities from our API. And that's what we're looking for. So what we'll do next is we'll actually add the nav links so that when we click on things, we navigate to the appropriate page, instead of having to type it manually in the URL.